We humans are social creatures, and we rely on our networks to survive and thrive. Our relationships with our family, our local community, and our country all play a critical role in improving our standards of living and helping us achieve our goals. But how can we best leverage these relationships to achieve our objectives? That's where strategic analysis and intuitive thinking come into play. Strategic analysis is all about using logic and reason to make decisions and solve problems. It's a structured and deliberate approach to decision making that involves carefully analyzing data and weighing the pros and cons of different options. On the other hand, intuitive thinking relies on our familiarity and experience to guide our decision making. It's a more spontaneous and instinctual approach that allows us to quickly make decisions based on our past experiences and knowledge. By understanding both strategic analysis and intuitive thinking, we can work more effectively with others and maximize the potential of our networks. So, join us in this discussion as we explore the dynamics of cooperative relationships and how you can use these powerful tools to enhance your chances of success. Strategic thinking. Have you ever made a decision without really thinking it through? Have you ever considered how a more strategic approach to decision making could improve your chances of success? The term strategy comes from the Greek word strategia, which refers to the skills possessed by generals to win battles. Today, strategic analysis is a process of carefully examining all the parts of a whole and understanding how they relate to each other in order to achieve certain goals over time. For example, when choosing which college to attend, strategic analysis would involve evaluating your personal interests, strengths, and weaknesses, as well as the schools that could provide the education you want and your capacity to pay for it. Strategic thinking, on the other hand, involves imagining and understanding possible and plausible alternative futures for your organization and using that knowledge to position your organization effectively in the external environment in the future. Strategic planning is a more linear, an analytic process that involves breaking down a goal into steps, identifying the possible consequences of each step, and determining how the steps should be implemented. Strategic planning involves establishing and formalizing systems and procedures. It analyzes the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Again, this process is typically linear or systematic. It focuses on breaking down a goal into steps, anticipating consequences, and determining how to implement each step. An example of a final strategic plan includes mission and vision statements, a declaration of organizational values, and presentation of goals and objectives. On SWOT analysis, imagine you're getting ready to play a game of basketball. To figure out how you can win, you need to look at your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Maybe your strengths are that you're good at shooting and dribbling, but your weakness is that you're not very tall. The opportunity might be that the other team is missing one of their best players, but the threat could be that the court is wet and you might slip. By looking at all these things, you can make a plan to play your best and try to win the game. Intuitive thinking. Have you ever had a gut feeling about something, a hunch that turned out to be right? That's the power of intuitive thinking. Intuition is a form of immediate thinking that's not based on analysis or deliberation. It's a form of immediate thinking that appeals to past experiences, that allows us to make quick decisions about a situation. It is not always clear or easy to explain and relies on familiarity and past experiences. Again, intuitive thinking relies on our familiarity and experience to guide our decision making. Our past experiences form the basis of our intuitive thinking. For example, if we've been burnt before, our intuition tells us to use a potholder when lifting a hot pan. In the book, Marquez quoted the definition of intuition as the subjective experience of a mostly non-conscious process that is fast, illogical, and inaccessible to consciousness that, dependent on exposure to the domain or problem space, is capable of accurately extracting probabilistic contingencies. And sometimes, intuitive thinking is dismissed as acting on impulse or not thinking things through, but it's actually a valuable form of thinking that allows us to make quick decisions in situations where analysis would take too long. And he defined intuitive thinking as an immediate form of thinking that is not characterized by an analytic process, but an appeal to past experiences. In layman's term, intuitive thinking is common sense, but intuitive thinking isn't always clear or easy to explain. At times, we may not even be aware of the process we use to arrive at a decision, and ironically, common sense is not always common. Our experiences shape our intuitive thinking, and what seems obvious to one person may not be the same for another. Women are often said to have stronger intuition than men. This may be due to their ability to decode nonverbal communication and familiarity about other people like her husband's mannerisms. In philosophy, intuition is seen as a direct grasp of truth, separate from reason or senses. It's a different form of thinking that can lead to unique insights and perspectives. Intuitive thinking may not always be visible or easy to explain, but it can be a valuable tool for making quick decisions and gaining new perspectives. In the medical field, intuition can be a useful tool for practitioners who have years of experience and familiarity with symptoms, but it's important to note that decisions based on intuition may not be visible or easily explained to others, and there may be ethical considerations at play. And according to the book, that it's not uncommon for medical practitioners to diagnose illnesses based solely on a patient's symptoms without conducting extensive tests. This could be due to the medical expert's vast experience and familiarity with the symptoms, allowing them to make a diagnosis through simple observation or physical examination. However, it's important to note that extensive testing provides more accurate results, and there are challenges to using intuitive knowledge in healthcare decisions. One issue is the lack of transparency, as the beliefs and values that guide such decisions are often only known to the person making them. In an age of greater patient involvement in healthcare decisions, this can be problematic. Additionally, decisions based on intuition may raise moral concerns. As a result, relying solely on intuitive thinking for healthcare decisions can be unreliable. In conclusion, strategic analysis and intuitive thinking are both valuable for decision making. By combining logic and reason with familiarity and experience, we can make informed decisions and reach our goals. So, use both approaches to your advantage. Thank you for watching this video.